Hello, ENC 1102 students. We're broadcasting from your classroom, room 1217, but you are in a digital environment, and this is what most of you see when you are in Google Classroom. So I want to prepare you for writing your big essay, your informative essay with surprising reversal. Most of you have done all the pre-writing, and we want to make sure that all that work leads to a great essay. So when you are in your Google Classroom, first thing most of you do is you go into classwork, and this is what I'm talking about. This assignment right here, informative essay with surprising reversal. Most of you know because I've talked about it a lot. This is worth 25 grades. So it's very important that everyone do this and they do a good job on it. What you'll see here when you go into the assignment is you'll see the assignment sheet that's been transformed for Google Classroom. And what I want you to pay attention to are the different sections of this essay, because you can't leave anything out. If you leave something out, you're going to lose points. It's going to lower your grade. So let's make sure everybody knows that we're talking about 9 paragraphs for this essay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what they look like on the assignment sheet, and then I'm going to show you what they look like in a real essay. So according to the assignment sheet, you need to have an introduction. For most of you, you can achieve what you need to do in your introduction in 1 paragraph. If you need more paragraphs because you might need to provide some background information about your problem that people don't know about, that's fine. But just know that section A, there must be an introduction. Somewhere in this introduction, or after the introduction, you're going to introduce the common view of your problem. This is 1/2 of the body paragraphs. So what we're going to see here is we're going to see 3 body paragraphs that support the common view. So we've got paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3. All these paragraphs are graded the same way. Note that the first thing we want to see is that you clearly state a topic sentence, that the topic sentence is unique, that it's not repeating one of your other topic sentences, and that your topic sentence supports your common view thesis. We want to see that you're either using documented sources or personal experience to support your topic sentence. We want to see you use your own words to paraphrase, to explain or elaborate on textual evidence, and we want to see if you know how to use the correct transition words to lead your reader through the different parts of the paragraph. So after you finish with your common view of your thesis, you're going to have this transition where you present your surprising view. We call this the delayed thesis. The surprising view is the one that you think is more believable. This is a very short paragraph. And then from here, we go into the surprising view of the problem. And just like the common view, we're looking for 3 body paragraphs, and they're all graded the same way. Last thing we're looking at the after the last body paragraph is we're looking for a conclusion. Look at the 2 questions you have to answer in the conclusion. Explain why you think the surprising view is more believable than the commonly accepted view. Because you said that most people believe this, but you can show this. And then finally, explain why this surprising view is important or significant. The last thing we're going to look at here is there's a works cited list required. The works cited list must have at least 3 sources in it. If you refer to any new sources, like any of your previous sources, like sources 1 to 4, you can include those as well, but you need at least 3 sources here. Finally, don't forget that grammar does count as part of your grade. There are 10 points in there. And then I've provided you here with some resources. I've got 2 informative essays that you've looked at throughout this process, and the graphic organizer that goes along with Marjolaine Leal's her essay. So now we're going to look at some of the other resources here. So let's see if I can open this up. All right, I'm going to come on over here. I'm going to come down to here. So this is the graphic organizer for Marjolaine Leal's essay. So I just want to remind you that when you're writing this essay, you've already done a lot of the work. You've already structured it. You already know what your common view is going to look like. This is your common view thesis. These are the topic sentences for your common view body paragraphs. You've already identified the sources that you think you have to support your topic sentences. You've identified your surprising view thesis. You've identified the topic sentences for the 3 body paragraphs that will be supported there. You've identified where you have sources to back that up. So let's not forget that, and let's not forget that those sources are based on those double entry notes and sources that you turned into me. So you've done a lot of the work, now you've just got to put it together. So in putting it together, we're going to look at Marjolaine Leal's essay, and we're just going to go through it. You've got a copy of this on your own. So Marjolaine here in her introduction is it's very short introduction, tells us what the problem is, and then she ends her introduction with stating what the common view is. From her introduction, she goes into her first body paragraph to support the common view, her second body paragraph to support the common view. I can see here that Marjolaine is citing one source here, citing another source here. So we want to see how well you use evidence from your sources to support your views. And then in her third body paragraph, Marjolaine relies on a personal anecdote to support her view. And you're allowed to use personal anecdotes for one of your common view paragraphs and for one of your surprising view paragraphs. So after this third body paragraph, look, here's that transition paragraph. This delayed thesis begins with a transition where like but or however, or on the other hand, after you've kind of shown us the common view, you switch and say, but what I discovered opposite of the common view is something else. So you state that surprising view thesis here, and then you begin to support that surprising view. 1 body paragraph, 2 body paragraphs, 3 body paragraphs throughout. Then we get into her conclusion. Conclusion, again, is not very long. Just 2 things you need to achieve here. And let's not forget, there is a works cited list. You only had to cite 3 sources, source 5, 6, and 7. Marjolaine made use of other sources, some that she saw earlier, sources 1, 2, 3, and 4. And some kids actually go off and they look for other sources, a source 8 or a source 9. Okay, so I wish everybody luck. By now, most of you should have talked to me over the phone about 1 body paragraph. So most of you now have my phone number. You can text me, you can call me. If you're having trouble, you can email me. But what I want everybody to do is I want you to do a great job on this essay. Okay, I'll talk to you next time.